Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Welcome to The Mike O'Mara Show. We are enjoying our second decade of the show that has become a daily routine for thousands of listeners in great places like Antigua in the Lesser Antilles, which I think is maybe going to be in the path of some bad weather.
I prefer the major Antilles.
They're much bigger.
Yeah, much bigger.
Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. That's spelled L small e capital M-O-Y-N-E. Lemoyne. We have a Lemoyne in Maine too, but that's spelled L-A-M-O-I-N-E.
It means Des Moines in French.
Guilford, New Hampshire. Los Gatos, California. Travelers Rest, South Carolina. Torriglia, Padua,
you got it.
in Italy. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now. Great to be with you.
Hello there.
Everything okay with the missus?
Before we bring... Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
it's not the misses. It's
everything.
Turn the music down for just a second. Just want to just say, what a day. What a horrible, 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 horrible day. I can't come in here sometimes and be dancing around without at least making mention of the tragedy that happened in Afghanistan today. And when you see that people that are over there in our military doing their jobs, and 11 Marines get killed because we have ham-handed this. I'm mad. I'm really, really mad. I'm really, really mad. And I don't know how to vent it. I really don't know how to vent it. I just think that, when we train these guys to do one thing, fight in wars, and we hamstring them and turn them into crossing guards, sitting effing ducks for murderous people to crawl out of their holes and blow themselves up. It is just, I don't know. I just think that it's been a horrible August. One of the worst I can remember, and it continues to be worse. There are probably plenty of people that are going to be doing a really happy dance politically, and that sucks too. But I will tell you, they deserve everything they're getting over at that old Joe Biden administration right now. And I'm somebody who voted for him, so I say that too. I don't know. I'm not a military strategist. I'm not a military intelligence officer. But this was effed up beyond anything I've seen in a long time. And you know what? I think this is just a theory here. I think until we start really, really coming together, that we're going to be seeing these issues on either side, because this is effed up. I don't know how this happens. We heard, how long did we hear military intelligence, that Donald Trump was insulting military intelligence? Well, now, what does that make me think when I see this? That they didn't see this coming, that they didn't see the Taliban steamrolling towards Kabul and doing this. I don't get political, but I can't imagine right now that in a peacekeeping evacuation mission to get people who are afraid of dying out of the country, along with American citizens, because they effed up the timing and they broadcast the dates, there are 11 Marines on the ground, and there are countless Afghanis too. What, 60 Afghanis that got killed in this? I tell you, they're good at it. If it's ISIS, and that's who it's supposed to be, they're damn good at it. They're damn good at doing this. I don't know what they put on these people to, whether it's a truck or what. I haven't dug into it.
The details are still coming out.
Yeah.
It happened
It's
right
just
before
a
showtime.
sad day. It's a
Broke.
sad day for the world.
News.
It's a sad day. Get on a plane right now. Anybody that's there at the airport, put everybody on. See you later. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just, God almighty, in that little piece of rock, that little corner of the world, my heart goes out to all the young people. 11.
Yeah.
God, they had to be sitting ducks. It had to be just perfectly targeted. And they knew it was coming. You could hear that. They were warning people.
Yeah.
Well, if they knew it was coming, get them the F out.
Yeah. Create a perimeter.
Sad day. Sad day for the United States, and a lot of questions to be answered. Okay? I don't know what to say.
It is a lousy August. I tell you, you thought last August was bad.
No, this feeling that we're having right now is this is and if I could be, at least speak for myself, this outrage is beyond the pandemic. This is just sheer, just shock. Where you're like, how did this happen? Why did this happen?
Why did it have to happen?
Yeah.
Right?
Why did it have to happen?
All the stuff was
a
pointed
lot
to,
of questions.
Yeah. Too many questions.
And for those of you listening right now, we're going to do a show. We talked about it before the program. We're going to try to do
talking head here. We're going to do that. We're going to
got a bunch of stuff.
I can't come in here and fake it. I can't come in. It's just immediate. I got it a half hour ago, guys. I got it a half an hour ago. It's just and I'm sorry if you don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about a terrorist attack that was at Kabul airport today, which killed a bunch of people. I'll bring it up so we have it correctly for everybody. I don't want to.
Certainly shocked by the escalation. But then again, I'm not. Because they've been talking about this happening for the last 4 days.
Yeah. And every president in recent memory has just been putting it off. And when it happens, it happens.
And how long now? I remember the time when it wouldn't immediately be what the ramifications are going to be for. I could care less what the ramifications are for the Biden administration, good or bad. I could care less. All I care about right now is Americans in the line of duty that are doing that.
But Mike, they need to talk about the ramifications because that's how you turn this into a divisive issue.
Yeah, and that's the media.
That is the media.
Killed 12 now.
It's
U.S.
up to 12.
service members. I think it was 11 Marines and another, maybe a Navy medic or something. There were days of public and private warnings from President Joe Biden of a potential attack that could disrupt the massive airlift. They knew it was coming. Oh, God. How do you like to? I mean, the people that have to go out and do their jobs, these brave guys and gals that are on the front lines doing their jobs every day for nothing. For nothing. For just to die over there. Well, it's sad. I don't mean for nothing. Sorry. God, I'm upset. I'm sad. Oh God, it just seems like it's a never-ending thing with the anyway, a dozen in addition to the dozen dead, 15 US service members were wounded in 2 separate suicide attacks near the airport and ensuing gunfights. That's what we know so far. If you know anything, Oscar, if you see anything, let us know. But
keep an eye on
it. Keep the families of our fallen service members in your heart. And I'd like to see. Everybody. We always want a payback, and I completely understand people that are calling for heads to roll. I totally get that. That's it. I'm done. I'll get back on track, but I'm so sorry for the people we lost today.
Yeah.
It just feels like it is. It's a gut shot. It's a gut shot today. So moving right along, let's do our talking head, shall we?
Yes,
let's
please,
get that on track. I'm sorry, people. I had to mention it, or I wouldn't be doing my job. Our talking head today is Mr. Brian Chapin. Any relation, Rob, to Harry Chapin?
WOLDDDD. No relation.
Brian has been listening to the show dating back to the WAVA days. He found the show because he hated his alarm clock. Brian was a longtime Northern Virginia resident who currently lives in Frisco, Texas, home of the Cowboys.
Right.
One of the great, I don't know if you watch Hard Knocks with the Dallas Cowboys, but there was one of the greatest drone shots of the Cowboys facility in Frisco, Texas, that went through car seats and just went through. It was amazing. Frisco. They have a 94-acre facility out there. Where how about them Cowboys? Jerry Jones built it.
Isn't it great when you see him on Hard Knocks how he's unchanged?
How
you doing? Well then, hey.
You know he's a one-trick guy. He loves his Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
He does indeed.
He does.
Brian Chapin is 46, married to Sherry. They have 2 kids. Audrey is 14 and Ed is 13, and they have a dog named Ted.
They do.
Fonda buddies. Let's see. Brian is an American University grad, an Eagle, who is currently employed as a management and technology consultant to the public sector. Rob, why did you write whatever?
Because I didn't understand what it is. He can tell you what it is.
All right. His father was a 30-year Air Force veteran who has retired to Maine with his wife. As a military kid, Brian moved around a lot. The list of locations is amazing. Throughout his childhood, the show was a cultural touchstone that kept him in touch with America. Friends would mail him cassettes. I remember when people used to do that. Yeah. Send him over to the aforementioned military. Keep it on the line, Mike.
Yeah.
Keep chugging. Keep chugging. He still remembers the Eat My Shorts hotline and the current events quiz. Please pick C. Today, he remains an everyday listener and says that the humor of TMOS sustains him. Sorry I didn't give it to him at the beginning of the show. And gives his day-to-day a sense of continuity. He loves hearing about our personal lives and our families and is a big fan of the daily teaser promo. Brian's notable celebrity encounters include Donald Rumsfeld. Wow. He's dead now.
Yes.
Vladimir Lenin.
It's a good story.
He's dead too, but we'll ask. And an evening with Jerry Reed in Japan, and the time Marion Barry cussed at him. Intrigued? You should be. And now here's Brian. Let's bring Brian into the show. Whoa, 1002 to 1003.
There he is.
Where's Brian? I hear the dingy dongy ding, waiting for Brian, and I see a little black space, and now we're going to see him. There he is! Hi, Brian.
No, we got to unmute him.
Oh, that's a shame.
He's got to unmute himself.
All right, good afternoon, Mike
back.
and
We're
gentlemen.
back.
How are you?
We're back.
Hi, Brian.
I love your Northern Lights, your Aurora Borealis background there. That is fantastic. How are you, Brian Chapin?
I'm hanging in there. We're here in COVID Hell Central.
COVID Hell Central. Now, where are you right now, Brian?
I am in Frisco, Texas, about 25 minutes north of Dallas.
So you're kind of going through the same thing we are in the great state of Florida with quite the COVID surge. And,
yes, sir.
And 2 governors. I have DeSantis, you have Abbott, who are saying, how can we kill more people? No, I'm joking. I kid. I kid. Try not to get political. I kid. I don't mean that. Anyway.
I don't think Brian would argue with you, though. I think you're of like minds.
It's just... it's weird down here. It's weird. We're waiting for lawsuits and all that to check. I'm watching the local news to find out information, Brian. And then when I watch the local news, unfortunately, I was not able to get my COVID information because somebody ran over a dog with a school bus and you had a crying mom. So that was about 20 minutes. I mean, I felt bad for the dog. Terrible situation. But anywho, so you're a military brat. You've been all over the place.
Indeed. I grew up as a military dependent. My father served in the U.S. Air Force for 30 years.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Let's jump right into your encounters. All right.
Absolutely.
I have to. Vladimir Lenin. What the hell is that about, Brian? What is going on with that?
In 1992-93, I was a high school senior, and I was at Ramstein American High School on Ramstein Air Force Base, and our high school had an exchange program with a high school in Ivanovo, Russia, which is the textile capital of Russia. And so we went to visit the Russian students, and we spent a few days in Ivanovo, a few days in St. Petersburg, and also a few days in Moscow. And our first night in Moscow, one of my buddies procured a $3 bottle of vodka, and we got into it pretty well. And not far from our hotel was Red Square. And so we stumbled into Red Square, and for those who've been to Russia, right in the middle of Red Square is this little pavilion where we found, much to our shock, the embalmed corpse of Vladimir Lenin. And
My God. There was not security or anything like that around?
So there were a handful of guards, but you have to remember this was just after the fall of the wall and the Iron Curtain and the dissolution of the Soviet Union.
Right.
So things were very different then than they are today.
Okay.
And so we, in our drunken American hubris, started shouting first at the corpse of Vladimir Lenin.
Oh, my God.
And then at the guards, right? And saying things like,
What
don't
were you
you know? Don't you know communism has failed? Don't you know you've lost? Why are you still worshiping this corpse?
Oh my God!
Really?
How
you know, look,
ballsy.
I don't care what time it was. You were into the vodka. I would have thought you might have caught a trip to the gulag with that kind of behavior.
Jesus.
Listen, as I look back now, 20 plus years later, it's a miracle we didn't end up clubbed in the head and hauled off to the local jail or worse.
Did they escort you out of the tomb?
No, they just kind of looked at us with bemusement, and eventually we stumbled out.
Jesus, unbelievable.
Maybe it was more like one day we're going to hack all your government systems. You laugh now.
Exactly. We're going to control your elections. Have a great afternoon.
So
Absolutely.
you are a management and technology consultant to the public sector. So tell me, if you give us the dumbed down paragraph of that so we can all understand it.
So that's just a fancy or geeky way of saying that I work with state and local and federal departments and agencies to help them repair or improve broken or inefficient processes. And sometimes when you do that, you find out that technology can automate the new or improved process. It can institutionalize it so people can't get around it. And so where that makes sense, we implement technology.
Smart.
So the public sector you would work with, give us an example of some of the public sector areas.
So it might be Department of Defense, and I have worked for nearly every DoD agency that exists. It might be the New York City Police Department, the FDNY, the mayor's office. I'll give you a great example of something that affects people in the real world.
Okay.
So until a couple of years ago, if you were involved either as a defendant potentially or a victim in a crime in New York, and evidence, let's say you were mugged, right, and your purse or your wallet was taken and it became evidence, there are giant turn of this 20th century warehouses in each of the 5 boroughs where evidence gets stored. And until a couple of years ago, when evidence came in, right, someone grabbed a big leather-bound book off the wall and they
like
wrote
you would
it
see on
pencil.
CSI or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. And so it would be all done by hand, right? Everything would be logged in a book in pencil. Someone would walk that to a shelf somewhere deep in the warehouse. They would write down on a clipboard what shelf it went on. They would come back and enter that into the same, if you were lucky, leather-bound book. And 6 months or a year later, when it was time for trial, they would try to go find that same evidence. And it didn't always work out very well. And especially imagine if you're a potential defendant in a criminal trial and there's something like a packet of DNA that was logged in manually and logged in erroneously. Well, I was in a warehouse one day in Brooklyn when a packet of DNA was found 20 years after it had been stored. And it ended up exonerating a man who'd been sitting in Rikers for close to 2 decades.
Wow.
And that just stunned me. Now, today, if something like that happens, a police officer walks in with evidence, a barcode gets affixed to it, it gets scanned, it automatically creates a record. You take it to the shelf, you scan the barcode on the shelf, it automatically gets logged.
Great example.
So it's a much more reliable record of where that evidence went. So it's much easier to track.
That would be life-changing for people, I would think.
And this is how the federal government lost the Ark of the Covenant, isn't it?
Exactly.
The Ark of the Covenant. That's amazing. Oh, my God. So did you go all 4 years at American University when you were doing your undergrad?
I did. I am a proud fellow graduate of the American University.
Where did you live when you first got there?
I lived in Anderson Hall.
Anderson. All right. Next, across the quad from Let's. Or across
Indeed.
there was Let's Anderson on the other side. We used to
And
go over
I
there.
lived in the very fancy sounding Terrace North level, also known as the basement.
I was a Terracite too. I lived in the McDowell Terrace.
Very nice.
The Terrace. I lived with the American University soccer team down on the Terrace, and we were. There was something about living in the basement of a giant dormitory that you felt obligated, right, to be kind of the wild people, right? We were different. We were
subterranean,
The mole people.
Yeah.
You could not be more correct.
Yes.
So I will tell you that at the end of my freshman year, we lost a pitched softball battle to our fellow Terracites from Terrace South.
Okay.
And in retaliation for that loss, overnight, we stole all the shower curtains from their bathrooms. We covered every fixture in shaving cream. We grabbed a bunch of old mattresses from a storage closet and piled them so high they couldn't get out of their floor. and one of my floor mates decided to salt the fish tank of their poor goldfish.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's cruelty. You're a man. You're an animal.
Yes, so it led to a rather infamous report in which the resident director of the hall wrote, "The fish, Akbar, did not look well."
Akbar. All right, I want to ask, because you're younger than I am, so your terrace, right, was modified, I'm sure, because you couldn't do what we could do at McDowell Terrace, where we were able to get inside our rooms from outside. We could sneak in that way. Were you still able to do that when
So
you
you could
went to
like
American
dodge
University?
security. You could dodge all security if you had to,
the
right?
security, was much different
Sure.
later after I was there. When I was there wasn't anybody at the front desk or anything like
Right.
that.
So
we just
I don't
got
know
in.
what the windows were like in McDowell back then, but Terrace Anderson was still unrenovated when I came to school in 1993.
Okay, so it
So
was
we
the
had
old
these-
style windows.
Yeah, there was a push bar
Yep,
with louvered
yep.
windows.
That's what
and
that
so
could
you
open
could
up, and if you were
leave them-
thin enough, you could
Yes.
squeeze in, and there
Yes.
there was breakage that would happen because of that, because people would come up over the bar and they would. It was usually a drunken thing, or it's just
Yeah.
like, or you'd hear somebody coming in and go. I can't fit in it. It was fantastic. Oh, that's a fun campus. I
The
enjoyed
best
myself
part
there.
was those windows would not permanently close by the time that we had them.
Oh, absolutely,
So
because they were
snowed,
bent.
It snowed on the windowsill indoors.
Oh, that's
Yep.
pretty cool.
What's tuition at American these days?
Oh my
my
goodness.
God.
I'm sure it's well over $50,000 per year.
Holy
Yeah.
yes! Let me look at
It
this.
wasn't quite that bad when I was there.
Jeez.
20 plus
Man, it
years
really
ago.
wasn't that
Christ.
bad. Thank you, Aunt Mary. You're
While we're talking about your schooling, Brian, run Mike through the places you've lived and the order in which you lived there, because it was an amazing list.
Sure. So I was born at Elmendorf Air Force Base, Alaska in
wow.
December 1974.
Yes.
When I was about 2.5 years old, my father got reassigned to the Pentagon, and he and my mom decided to drive their candy apple red 1973 Volvo station wagon from Anchorage all the way to Washington.
Wow.
So they piled my brother and me, and he was only a few months old at the time,
Wow.
into the station wagon, and we spent a few weeks driving across the continent of the United States.
That's got to be at least 3 or 4 tanks of gas.
Quick update:
Oh.
50K. 50K is you're absolutely
year?
right per
wow.
year.
Right.
Wow. Mm.
Man,
Undergrad.
it is not that good a school. I'm sorry, Rob. Rob Johnson. I'm sorry, president of the alumni. I think he retired from that job this year. Jeez, really? Isn't that like Harvard money or something like that?
50K.
You
It's
know?
Wow.
wild.
Wow.
I know
Jeez.
WVU doesn't cost that much.
Wow. buy him a share of Bitcoin. Send him to school. That's great. All right. So other people you have bumped into, the recently deceased Donald Rumsfeld.
Yes, sir.
Well, he was I always everything I always read about Donald Rumsfeld is that he was a tad prickly. Did you find that to be the case?
No, I was privileged enough to have lunch with him. As I was telling Rob yesterday, I was working at the time for this very small kind of boutique executive DoD policy consulting organization. And one day the president of the company came running down the hallway and said, had some notes jotted down on paper and said, I need someone to build a PowerPoint slide or a couple slides. And I raised my hand and volunteered. And it turned out that he was a sitting member of what was formerly known as the Commission to Assess the Ballistic Missile Threat Against the United States, AKA the Rumsfeld Commission.
Wow.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Just on a lark, I created this slide for this Rumsfeld Commission meeting, completely unaware that that's what I was doing. And later, the same guy came back to me and said, hey, as a reward for building this slide for me, you get to come to lunch with Don Rumsfeld.
Wow, I didn't know it was this is a real meet. This is a sit down with the guy, right?
Wow.
And so, along with a couple of my colleagues, I got to go sit down for an hour or two and have lunch with Don Rumsfeld. And this was not long before he was tabbed to become the SecDef by George W. Bush.
So what did he eat?
He was funny. He was personable. He is definitely very opinionated, right? He has very definite opinions. And so at the time I was maybe 23, 24. So I didn't have the moxie to question him.
How did he treat the waiters?
It's a good question.
Oh, I mean, just fine. I mean, he was, very personable.
Oh, really? A very
Look at
personable
this,
man.
a nice man.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And how was the food at Good Guys?
Good guy.
Rob, it is really funny that you mentioned that spot.
Why is that?
You and I did not
Gentlemen's
talk
Club
about
in
this.
Washington, D.C.
Yes,
ladies
it
and
is.
gentlemen.
It is.
Yes. So this was a gentleman's club in upper Northwest D.C. And I once went there with a bunch of my buddies where we recognized one of our professors and immediately turned around and hightailed it out of the club.
Oh, my God. A professor. An AU professor?
Yes. She was
Oh.
apparently earning extra money.
Wow.
Oh, God. At least it wasn't the university president. Because
It's
we,
true.
we had a perv when I was there, that got in big trouble, made like obscene phone calls. Daniel Berenson.
Yes.
Oh, I've read about it.
Oh, the payphone guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
Payphone guy.
reformed. I think he got help. All right,
Yes,
which do you want to tell first, Jerry Reed or Marion Barry?
Oh, Jerry Reed, because that was the more memorable, perhaps staining memory of my life. So at one point in my middle teen years, we were stationed at Misawa Air Force Base, Japan, which if you look at a map of Japan is high up on the east coast of the main island. It's a good 12-hour bus ride north of Tokyo. And so it's a pretty far-flung remote outpost. But one of the benefits of a place like that was we got a lot of USO entertainers.
Oh.
And my father was the base commander at the time. And so that meant he had the responsibility to greet and then have dinner with and otherwise entertain whoever was coming to town. And one night, Jerry Reed came to town. And so my father brought all of us to the officers club and we sat down to dinner with Jerry Reed. Only 4 of us sat down to dinner and Jerry sat down to drink. In his rider, he had said he wanted not food, but one of those like elementary school manila colored plastic storage cubbies filled with ice water and beer.
To make it extra cold?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And so after he did his set, right, which is a mix of comedy and music, he came and sat down with us and he began to drink every last beer in that cubby. And there were probably a good 13, 14 cans of beer in the cubby. And as the cubby emptied, the stewards would be right there and they would refill the cubby and he would proceed to empty it again. And this went on over the course of a few hours, 3 or 4 times.
It must
And
have been amazingly. How old were you when this happened?
No more than 14 or 15.
And you must have been thrilled as a 15-year-old to be sitting in the middle of the. Was he telling all like the Burt Reynolds war stories and stuff like that?
The stories of being in The Survivors and stories of being, in other films and hanging out with celebrities. It was awesome.
And he was, he was getting S-face, but he was personable, right?
Yes.
That's what I
absolutely.
always try to tell people.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic, but at least I'm personable.
Yes.
That's
Right.
it. That's incredible. When you're hot, you're hot. And this was after he'd already performed, so he had a flight back to the U.S. or
Downtime.
something like that, right?
Exactly.
So your dad was commander at different bases when you were growing up. Did he have a different duty? What was his rank? What did he finish in the service?
So my
What was his
father
rank?
finished as an 06, right, which, colloquially we call the full bird colonel.
Oh, wow.
Full bird colonel. Yep, that's usually who runs a base, the commander.
He started his career as what was called a weapon systems operator in an F4, which meant he sat in the back seat of the F4, fully qualified to be the pilot, but not actually the pilot.
Okay, just the weapons guy.
So he did that for a good decade. And then when the F4 began to move into retirement, he moved into management. And he had a series of management roles over the course of the rest of his career, and kind of finished up as the chief of staff to the commander of Pacific Air Forces, which was at Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii.
So you were in rarefied air. I mean, you got to see and go to a lot of wonderful events, and I mean that's a big deal. I mean, I remember, I my father was friends with the commander of a nuclear submarine, and I thought that was one of the biggest deals to be the kid of the commander of the base. You know? He wasn't a John Larroquette kind of commander of the base, was he? He was a cool guy. Was he a cool guy?
Look, so many of the flag officers I met were very charismatic, very cool guys. My father was a pretty charismatic, cool guy. Also, demanding, as you expect a senior officer. Of course,
sure.
Right.
Was I?
I don't know what it's like today, but it used to be that if you made your way onto Hickam Air Force Base, you could then drive across to Pearl Harbor, and you could actually drive all the way to the submarine docks. And so you could see the regular submarines, the boomer and nuclear subs, and that was always a lot of fun. We used to do that, every couple
I'm
weeks.
so glad you were into it. That's wonderful, because it must have been an amazing life. And we have to wrap
I have
up.
a quick question.
Yes, go ahead, Oscar.
Was Iron Eagle one of your favorite movies growing up?
Absolutely, it was.
Yes. I mean, if you live that life,
sure.
I mean, just watching it in Silver Spring as a kid, not knowing what the military is like, but knowing that you have like this base that you live on, it'd be amazing.
And the last thing we're going to leave you with right here is it says there was one time when the mayor for life, Mayor Marion Barry, actually cussed at you.
Yeah, so my freshman year at American, like a lot of curious freshmen do, right? We were wandering the city. And a group of us had gotten tired and were headed back up the hill toward AU. Mike, you would know this, walking up Massachusetts Avenue from Embassy Row.
Sure.
And as we passed a particular embassy, a limousine pulled up, hot, squealed to a stop, and a figure jumped out of the limo and started running down the sidewalk toward the embassy, clearly late for an event. It was dark. It was evening, so at first we didn't recognize who it was, but he ran smack into me. And I fell over, and I looked up, and there was Marion Barry looking down at me. And I said, I stumbled and said to him, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. And he looked at me and said, man, F you, kid. And then on
Really? That was it? No, I'm sorry for running a co-ed down on the street on Massachusetts Avenue. F you, kid. I got to go to a party. Oh, my God. Wow. Well, this was fun.
That's
you know
great.
what? I needed you
killed
today.
it.
I needed
Brian.
you, Brian Chapman.
Yeah.
We have to take a break. Anybody you want to say adios to or hello to before we let you go? Brian Chapin?
I just want to say a quick shout out to our family friend, Mike Orland. He is battling lung cancer, but he changed my life forever. When we were in Germany in 1992, he was visiting us, and on his way out the door, as he was leaving, he turned around and flipped a cassette tape toward me, and he said, Brian, a buddy of mine from an underground radio station made this tape. You got to listen to it. It will change your life. And he was not wrong.
Oh, wow.
Side A was Nirvana's Nevermind,
Right.
and side B was Pearl Jam's 10. And Pearl Jam now, 30 years later, is my favorite band of all time. And anyone who follows them knows they're very socially conscious as well. And so it changed my outlook on a lot of issues. And so I have him to thank for that.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Well, that's awesome. I needed you today, Brian Chapin. Thank you very much. It was a tough day for people in the military, as I'm sure you are aware.
Yes.
And our thoughts are, more than anybody would ever know with them today. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you
for supporting the Mike O'Mara Show. Thank you for those great stories, and continue to support TMOS. We love you. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
See you.
Mike.
Thank
for
you, Brian.
30
Bye-bye.
years. Thank you.
There he goes. That's awesome. That was so much fun. We'll take a break, come back with the homepage right here. You are listening to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thanks, Mike. Time now to check the TMOS Community Bulletin Board. Tonight is bingo night in the social hall at Our Lady of the Perpetually Bleeding Ulcer. Early Bird Bingo has a $500 jackpot. Do you like flapjacks? Well, if you do, the Loudoun County All-Star High School Jazz Band has a night for you. They're holding a fundraiser to pay for their trip to south of the border in South Carolina, and it's tomorrow night at Oscar's House of Pancakes from 6 to 6:15. If you have a question, thought, or birthday request for the TMOS mailbag, send an email to rob@mikeomerashow.com. Remember, Rob has 2 B's. Or send it through snail mail to TMOS Mailbag, P.O. Box 32101, Washington, D.C. 20007. They also like packages. And that's your TMOS Community Bulletin Board. Now back to more hijinks on the Mike O'Mara Show.
We are back. Hold on just a second. Let me just call my wife. She left angrily. All right.
Oh, she left angrily?
Well, my kids' golf clubs are where they're not supposed to be, I guess, and she was concerned about that. So, hold on.
Did she run over them?
No, that'll get her on the news.
My mom
though.
would run over them.
I just want to do. Hey, honey, are you on the way down to the place?
Yes.
All right. Do you know the code?
No, I'll just let Michael use whatever clubs they have.
All right. If you're not there yet, I can give you the code to his garage, and they're on the back of my my cart.
I don't know where Ole lives.
Oh, you don't? Okay. All right. I love you. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, love you too.
Okay, bye. All right, bye. All right, that's good.
The password
She's
is
It's communication, people. That's the way it is. That's you
What's the password?
You know?
Penis.
It's not penis.
Stop it. Do you know it? Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by weird. Like Oscar's got some weird telepathy thing going.
Well, right as you
Hi,
called
Ole,
her,
that's for you.
he
Ole
said-
won't be listening to this today.
when you called her, Oscar said, "I've got it."
Hey, when it comes to losing weight, there's a lot of pressure to label foods good or bad. Noom realizes that just creates dilemmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Noom is
hate
here
it.
to change how we see food. It's psychology-based. That's how they tackle it. It looks not only at what you eat, but also how you eat. Instead of making you feel guilty or regretful, Noom empowers you to keep on chugging. Everybody's journey is different. Noom will customize a program for you, and they'll do it based on your personal goals. No food is totally off limits. If you have an off day, relax. Noom will gently nudge you back to get back on track. Noom only asks for 10 minutes of your day. Are you aware? I'm not kidding you.
That's it, just 10 minutes.
That's what Noom is.
It's great.
If you're worried about, I don't know, no, shut up. Noom wants 10 minutes a day.
Love yourself.
And I'm sure they don't appreciate me telling listeners to shut up, but shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
Use Noom if you want to lose weight. They teach you about your eating habits and check in on your progress. If you doubt what I'm saying, more than 80% of users complete the program, and 60% of users lose 5% or more of body weight. And they keep it off. It's great. It really is. I love Noom. Carla loves Noom. Oscar loves Noom.
Yes, he does.
Noom will personalize a weight loss program just for you.
Who?
And you will never look back.
Yeah.
There's a science to it, by the way.
Yes.
A science to getting healthier. It's called Noom. Start building better habits for healthier, long-term results. Sign up for your trial at Noom.com/TMOS. That's NOOM.com/TMOS. And we would like to say thank you to Noom for being a fine sponsor of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Yay,
Where's
Noom.
my thing?
thing.
Maybe I got to do
thing.
this. Yeah.
Thing.
Maybe I should plug it in. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, I thought I was really on my act today. No, I'm not. I'm having that kind of day. Yeah.
From the four corners of the
There we
World
go.
Wide Web.
I got it.
And into your digital device. It's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
Oh, it is the homepage, and that's why we have all the really, really important stories that are breaking today. Because I said, with all the things going on in the world, the pandemic, horrible things happening around the world, let's talk about Honey Boo Boo, shall we?
no.
Let's do that. Yes.
Honey Boo Boo?
Honey Boo Boo is back, y'all. She'll be 16 years old on Saturday, and she just did a feature along with a photo shoot for Teen Vogue magazine.
Hi, I'm Honey Boo Boo. 16
Well,
now.
Rob, she's not Honey Boo Boo anymore.
Oh, forgive me. I didn't follow.
She says, my mama did not name me Honey Boo Boo. My name is Alana.
Oh,
Isn't that nice? What a pretty name.
You know what? If you're not Honey Boo Boo, and you know, if it was Becky Sue or something, that we go, well, okay. But Alana's a lovely name. I
Seems
think that's a
nice,
very
yes.
nice
Wonderful
name.
name.
Her full name, Alana Frances Thompson, and sadly, her reality show fame has made it difficult to connect with people at school. Here's a quote from her. To be honest, I do not have many friends at all. I don't trust nobody, really, so I don't have friends. But one thing she does have is a sense of self-love. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
That you quoted her with the double negative. I thought it was nice.
The double negative was included in
That's
the
what I
text.
mean. And
I can't lie to our audience.
That's why, Mike, I praise your accuracy as a newsman.
Yes.
As a reporter.
One thing she has is self-love. She says, quote, just because I got a little extra meat on my bones, you want to hate me? I'll never get body shaming. I do not care. As long as I like myself, I'm good. Alana has had to deal with a lot thanks to her mother's substance abuse issues that have been pretty well documented since that show was
Mama
on.
June, right? That was her name?
Mama June,
Yes.
yeah. And she seems to have weathered the storm. Here's the quote. When my mama got real bad with her drug use, I didn't know where I was going to end up. I'm proud of myself for how far I've come. You know what? I don't care what you think of Honey Boo Boo. Amen. I give her applause on that one. Way to go.
Dealt a bad hand as a kid to have to deal with all that stuff.
Well, any child star has to deal with it, and to do it like that and then have your mom on drugs, that's tough.
Yeah.
Just when you thought you'd heard the last of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, an Olympian from China said her gold medal is already peeling.
Oh, no.
Zhu Zhiyang earned gold in the trampoline gymnastics. She said, quote, I thought that the mark was probably just dirt, so I rubbed it with my finger and found that nothing changed. So then I picked at it a little bit, and the mark got bigger.
What did I always say, Mike? Don't pick at it.
It'll get infected.
That's right.
The gold medals are not solid gold. Now, I didn't know that. With all the money they spend for the venues and things like that.
I knew it would not be solid gold. Gold would be too soft. It wouldn't hold up, I would think. And expensive.
All right. They're not solid gold. They were made using recycled materials donated by Japan's citizens, then coated with 6 grams of gold. Well, that's a decent plating.
Not bad. Not bad.
The Tokyo Olympic Organizing Committee came out and said the coating that is peeling is protective and is not the gold plating. If Zhu wants a replacement, unfortunately, she'd have to pay for it, but the committee could choose to open an investigation into the matter. So there's that. I thought they were solid gold.
Maybe they sat for too long through COVID.
Yeah. I
don't know. Yeah, who knows?
I knew a guy, Mike, was so stupid he won a gold medal and had it bronzed.
Bada bing, bada boom. Hey,
that's an old joke, you know.
Hey, I'm here all week. Yay, yeah, all right.
Oscar,
dad joke.
It's a dad. I'm a dad. Twice.
Monica Lewinsky is one of the producers of the upcoming series Impeachment: American Crime Story. But that doesn't mean she sugarcoated the way she was portrayed. Originally, the writers left out a scene where Monica flashed her thong to Bill Clinton because she didn't want to re-traumatize Monica. But Monica made her put it back in. Well, why would it trauma? If she's doing a TV show about it,
well,
she
because
probably's gotten over that,
this
right?
is probably known as press.
She says, quote, I'm incredibly experienced in understanding how people see this story. So ultimately, I felt 2 things. 1, that I shouldn't get a pass because I'm a producer. And 2, that it was unfair to the team and to the project because it would leave everybody vulnerable. Impeachment debuts September 7th on FX, starring Beanie Feldstein as Monica, Clive Owen as Bill, Edie Falco as Hillary Clinton, there's a big name, and Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp.
Oh, excellent.
That's interesting.
Sarah Paulson from
cast.
American Horror Story.
Yeah, that's a good cast.
How
Very
old were you all when that broke? What year was that?
Let me see.
93, 4?
I was 57.
No, for me, I remember not having enough worldly experience to understand what was going on. Like I was just becoming like a teenager. I think I hadn't lost my virginity yet. I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
And I remember sitting there. I was like, "But isn't sex? And is it all sex?" And I remember because my parents weren't breaking this down for me. I'm watching the news with them, right?
Well, and it was also before the whole power. You know, the taking advantage, men in power taking advantage over people not in power. That's back when that was.
And I still never understood until later in life. I just remember being like, "What's wrong with having cigars?"
Apparently, the scandal started January 17th, 1998.
Let's move on.
Thank you.
Cigars. Yeah, some disc jockeys did some silly stuff. I was
confused.
All I know is that whole thong story, that's part of the narrative. It belongs in the movie.
Amen.
Thank
Way
you.
to go, Monica. If both your ankles are still intact, you probably haven't tried the Milk Crate Challenge yet. We talked about it yesterday. Now, TikTok.
Internet.
Bitcoin. Now TikTok.
The worst. Sorry.
Thank you.
Now TikTok has gone on record. Why do I want to read this whole story like Dick Robinson?
Go ahead, do it. You should. You should. Get it out of your
Now
system.
TikTok has gone on record telling people not to do it.
Dick
In case you haven't heard, the Milk Crate Challenge. Yeah, it's that new thing. It's that dangerous TikTok trend that's going viral. You stack milk crates at various heights and then try to walk across them. The middle one is 7 crates high. So it's a long way to fall.
Sure can.
There
be
is a stunt boy at a radio station that's already done this for the morning show.
Of course.
There has to be, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Oh,
you
of
just put mats
course
down.
it
You're like,
would
can you
happen.
do this? Danger
Carl,
boy?"
the danger boy, will be crawling up milk crates.
Yeah, get Fippinger. I'm still in touch with him online. Get Fippinger on the line. All right?
Now 72.
Fippinger, I hope this gets back to you. We talked about you on the show today,
Hi,
Carl.
Carl.
Most people do fail. The hashtag Milk Crate Challenge was trending this week, but now TikTok has banned it, and they're scrubbing all those videos from the platform. The statement they released says they prohibit content that promotes or glorifies dangerous acts.
Yeah. Felix
they
Grant should
encourage-
do it.
And they at WMAL AM 630, they encourage people to, quote, exercise caution and in their behavior, whether online or off. Leave it up to the professionals. Jackson Weaver and Frank Harden will be doing it tomorrow morning on Harden and Weaver. The Milk Crate Challenge. And Jackson gets up playing his Auntie Emmy and, I'm flooded off the crate. Here we go. I'm so inside right now.
Also,
Not
Mike,
even funny.
the gallon of milk challenge will be performed by Bill Mayhew at Blackie's this
Bill
Saturday night.
Mayhew. Very, very exciting, everybody. OMG.
It means, oh my God, Oscar.
Yes.
I'm going to yell.
Thank you.
Okay.
Flaming hot mutton. Wait a minute. Hold on. Flaming hot Mountain Dew's coming.
Oh, no. That
You'll
does
be able to
not
get
sound
your
good.
hands on it next Tuesday, and maybe only next Tuesday because it won't be in stores. Flaming hot Mountain Dew. I'm Jerry
Yeah,
Reed.
Jerry Reed wants flaming hot beer.
They're selling it at MountainDew.com starting August 31st, and it's a limited time only thing.
PepsiCo.
So it'll probably sell out fast, maybe within minutes. They're describing it as a mix of spicy and sweet.
Well, that's delicious.
So it's got the normal Mountain Dew taste, plus the flaming hot flavor they use in other products like Flaming Hot Cheetos.
See, this is excellent because a lot of the people that like flaming hot Cheetos don't have any teeth. So
Yes.
they're going to need the flaming hot drink.
It's referred to in certain parts of the country as Mountain Dew Mouth.
Mountain Dew Mountain.
Mountain Dew Mouth.
I've heard this. I've heard this.
They'll also be selling a bunch of Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew merch through the clothing brand Broken Promises. Thank ye.
Thank ye.
And now it's time for a little something.
Yes.
2 men allegedly stole a Porsche SUV in Chicago on Tuesday and then shot a man in another vehicle. The Porsche sped off with police in pursuit. The SUV later crashed, and the guys jumped out and ran away afoot. The driver was running with some kind of bag and ducked into a Mexican restaurant. He ran through the place trying to escape out the back exit. The restaurant was mostly empty, except for a table full of police officers
Oh, no.
who were there eating lunch. When they saw the guy, they immediately got up and ran after him, caught him in the alley behind the restaurant. He was charged with attempted murder, possession of a stolen vehicle. Police are still looking for the other guy he was with. By the way, the guy they shot should be okay. The man was identified as well-known criminal Lucky Burrito. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm here all week. Sometimes the dumb kickers are my favorite. Hey, we're going to take a little break or something, and then we're going to come back and talk to Mr. Dan O'Brien, who it's always nice to talk to and find out what's going in his world, because Pony's working on phones today.
Dennis Murphy hung around Podville Media and tried to break into broadcasting, but his natural speech proved to be a huge obstacle. Then one day, he would later tell his biographer, the voice of God told him to take diction lessons, and his whole life changed.
Hark! I hear the cannons roar. Is it the king approaching?
Hark! I hear the cannon roar. Is it the king approaching?
Dennis practiced faithfully for many months, and through diligence and perseverance, it was
Still
only
funny.
a question of time before he emerged a major star.
Good evening, and cheers to you all out there. Welcome to Murphy's Musings. I'm Dennis Murphy. Our
Yes, you
broadcast is sponsored this evening by the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Frightfully witty, uncensored content every week. Click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com and purchase a subscription so you never miss a minute of the fun.
You know what? It doesn't sound. There he is. It doesn't sound anything like Dennis. That's amazing. What a transformation! Isn't
Wonderful
that special?
transformation. Hark.
Have you noticed the large increase of mortgage advertising in the recent weeks? There's been a lot of it out there, especially online. I've seen a lot of it. Lower interest rates tend to drive up the number of mortgage companies vying for your attention. People want to get in on it. It's more important now than ever to work with a team you can trust. And you know the team I'm going to tell you about. They're Cornerstone, First Financial, Mark Livingstone, good guy, a direct lender. That means they got their own cash, folks. They can guarantee to meet or beat any competitor. Look, I've used them. Rob's used them. Rob's using them right now
Using
for another
them right
refi.
now.
I've used them.
Yes.
And they're great. Oscar's used them. They're the best. Look, it's the Delta variant. It's the crisis in Afghanistan. It's mixed economic signals. All these things make the rates go down, down, down. Whether you're taking cash out with a refi or purchasing a new home, call them now. They're good people. I love Cornerstone First Financial. They're easy to deal with. They make the process a snap. Other companies may entice you with low rates, but they won't disclose their higher closing costs or even charging you points. That's the old bait and switch. Don't fall for it.
No.
Call now and see what Cornerstone can do for you. No gimmicks, just benefits, savings, and solutions. Cornerstone First Financial, 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. Do it now. Now, right before the show, we did some, shuffling? We had some
shuffling.
Yeah, every day we're
we
shuffling.
did the shuffle.
Yeah.
Some mice came into the building and started chewing the phone lines. And you got Pony doing something like to fix stuff? What's going on with this?
There's a
now?
possum in the office, and Pony's chasing it with a broom, and we think he's almost got him cornered.
No, it has nothing to do with
Because I had I wrote it down today. I had
you teased it,
Pony
yeah.
time
I
today.
actually gave him a nice. We had a meeting about him being on the air today, just making sure that he understood like how to broadcast. It was great.
It was.
What is that meaning? After 13 years of listening to this show, you feel it necessary to have a meeting with... What do you say in that meeting, just out of
I
curiosity?
said, "What's the story with the dog?" And he told me what it is, and I said, "Well, that's not a story. Let's figure out something else that's interesting happening in your life."
It was essentially
You
not
know
so much
what?
a
Thank
meeting
you,
as
Oscar.
a pre-interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
Well,
he posted it.
trying to
He posted it for no particular reason.
because he's just being loving, and he's
Is it his mother's?
He's
Is it
dog
his
sitting
mommy's dog?
the Hanson's dog. He's dog sitting the Hanson's dog. That's all it was.
And you know how they're going to pay him.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the going
Yeah.
rate.
Yeah.
But,
why do dogs dun, dun, dun? Because they can.
Exactly.
I don't know why I said that.
Come here, boy. Come here.
It's terrible.
So
Yeah.
he's helping with what is when you move from location to location, as we now have completely moved out of
Exactly.
2300 Wisconsin Avenue, and we're all downtown. We had to move some phone lines over, so that's all that needs to be taken care of, and he knows some particulars of that. On
Is
that
he over
front.
at the old location today?
No. He just walked over into the other room to help one of the PAs with Comcast.
His original plan was to go to the old location with alligator clips and actually run the wires himself.
But don't you see, Rob, how sensitive and kind your brother is there for working with Pony when he's going to come on the show, coaching him?
Yes.
About that. But no, tomorrow Mike's not going to want you to not have an answer for that. What do you do? I didn't know you coached him up to come in here.
He's not a broadcaster. He's funny. He, like anybody's going to pinch hit if they have.
He's very funny.
If you have, this is what I say. If you talk twice in the 76 minutes that we have this show in totality, then you have roughly 74 minutes to think about what you're going to say. So, of course, you better be funny.
That's called the newsman principle.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob.
But if you're going to...
Sometimes Rob and I do have a similar brain that was thinking about the exact same thing. Rob articulated it, so I don't have to.
And if you're going to be highlighted on our show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your reps aren't, past 2 minutes. Then maybe you got to have a
Mike's
little
an
more
asshole.
than that.
What? I'm sorry. What was that?
Maybe you got to have a little more than, it's just a picture of my friend's dog.
I get okay,
Yeah,
but that would we make that work. That's our job.
Yeah.
So and
now,
But it was more. It was less of a meeting, more of probably like a pre-interview.
It was a pre-interview.
Yeah, and that's
we've talked about Pony now, and we don't. How's Dan O'Brien doing?
Dan O'Brien.
Dan, are you over there?
Yes, I am, Mike. How are you?
But Dan, you brought me joy. A lot of people have brought me joy. This is the example right here. This is you. If you're listening to this show today, I came in. We were all in a very crappy mood when we came in here,
sour
because of the day. Just a horrible day in the news. But Dan, how's your mom doing?
Debbie is doing fantastic. I was actually just in New Jersey this past weekend and visited the whole family. We had a bit of a family reunion, and I saw some family members that I hadn't seen in over 5 years.
Thank you very much, Dan. And listen, Dan, when you talk to me,
yes, Mike.
From now on, I want you to talk to me just like that every time I talk to you about that. Dan, is there any chance you'll be doing another Dan the Fan Man commercial anytime soon?
Oh, absolutely. I've got several written already, and I'm going to make sure that after this broadcast is over, I'll have several more written for you. And in our nation's capital, we have some rain coming down with a little bit of lightning. That's not frightening at all. Oops, I forgot my umbrella. Mike, back to you.
That's all I need. That's all I need. That's a 10. That's a 10 today. That's great. That's Dan the Fan Man, ladies and gentlemen. He can come on the show anytime with that. That's joy right there, baby. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with something. I don't know what the hell we're going to come back with. Something. Right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Back to you, listeners.
Hello, listen to me. It's Jackie Mason, and on Earth, I was a sensation. Now I'm dead. In the ground, what a break. Only a schmuck dies before being a TMOS talking head. I missed out. Mike, Rob, and Oscar are real menschers. They love the whole mishpacha. Oi, such fun, but I missed my chance to kibitz with them. Now it's not too late for you, boy check or girl check. You don't need to be a schnorrer. Just ask nicely. Email Rob with the 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com and give him your spiel. Soon you can be talking with 3 goys and it won't cost bupkis. Booby, don't be a putz. Use some chutzpah and send that note. Include your phone number. Everyone will cabal when they hear you and maybe even pat your kepi. Quit kvetching and do it. Only a Michiganer would turn down a chance to be part of the Michigans. So plots, have an ush, and schlep over to your computer and schmooze the boys or I'll kick you in the tuchus. Oi!
Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate that.
Jack Mason.
I got a question for you, people.
Yeah.
What was your favorite childhood memory caught on film or videotape? Do you have an easy way to watch it? Do you even have a VCR or a film projector? No surprise.
No.
Listen up. They don't even make them anymore. VCRs, nothing. They're not around. You want to keep these irreplaceable moments forever. You can have them digitally preserved so they stand the test of time and can be passed down for generations to come with Legacy Box.
Yes.
Legacy Box is an effortless way to have outdated media digitally preserved to DVD, a thumb drive, or the cloud. Legacy Box is so easy. Pack and send. Their team digitizes everything by hand. Then you enjoy perfect digital copies preserved forever. Effortlessly. Legacy Box is something you can order in minutes and enjoy forever, just like we all did. Now's the perfect time to turn your aging tapes and films into a digital archive that's safe forever. Be like us. Get started future-proofing your memories today so you can gather the family and begin the trip down Beverly Lane.
Bull.
Go to legacybox.com/TMOS to get an incredible 40% off your first order. Buy today to take advantage of this exclusive offer and then send it in when you're ready. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS and save 40% while supplies last. You can tell your wife, Rob Spiewak, that on the last episode of HBO's The White Lotus, which I finished binging last night.
I'm not finished yet.
I may have come over to her side. And Oscar, when you finish it, I'll be curious to know what you think.
I'm curious.
It was weird all through the entire show, but then at the towards the end, it probably didn't give me enough of what I'd gotten in earlier episodes. That's
See, because when I said that I was not impressed by it, I only watched like 10 minutes of the last episode, and so maybe that's why. Did you see the scene that I had referred to about the suitcase?
Rob, I'm going to ask you this,
okay?
Because we can't tell people. I don't want to spoil it.
No, you don't want to spoil it. No.
would it be safe to say that on a mainstream platform like an HBO,
right,
that may be territory that's never quite been explored?
Well, I will not say what it is at all, but I will say if you go through the entire run of the White Lotus, you will see this scene and you will know it. Now, here's what you need to know.
Oscar hasn't seen it yet, has he?
What, the scene where they're standing up? Or the other
No, this is in the last episode.
Where they were crouching down?
Well, don't do too much.
Okay.
Oscar, this is in the last episode.
And I will just say this, Mike.
You're going to have to wait, but Oscar.
I'm watching tonight.
You got to, Mike, you have to.
I wouldn't waste any more time.
Reset your mind and imagine this. You've been away doing work in the basement from your wife for much of a Sunday. You come up, you look at the television, and that's the first thing you see.
Look, everybody's going to watch it now because what Rob's talking about makes total sense. And I didn't realize. There's some shocking stuff in that show.
Yeah.
You had referred to something shocking, and I thought it was something else.
Well, the first thing I said to Carrie is, what the hell are you watching? And then she explained it was White Lotus, and I said, I sat down, and I looked at the television and the sort of denouement following that very sensational climax, and I said, I've watched a lot of stuff on a lot of channels.
Can't wait.
And I have never seen that before.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
No. No.
And the thing about it is, and we're not giving anything away by
not at all.
saying this, it looks real.
Very, you know what? That was some George Lucas style quality action.
Do you think it was real?
No, I don't, but I think they probably went to great pains to make it look real. Because you know what? If it wasn't, if that looked fake, all the credibility is gone.
I can't wait.
You don't know what we're talking about. No. I am sorry about that.
I can't wait for him to reverse engineer this conversation.
You are. You're going to do it tonight. But now it's onward. To more fun and more thrills with TV. It's tough. You were talking about it the other day as far as finding stuff out there.
But great news.
Do I need a
I've
diversion
got great
tonight.
news for you.
Really?
Netflix announced their lineup of feature films that it's coming out this fall. So it's right around the corner.
Right.
But
not original content, probably retreaded older movies,
no,
correct?
Original films. They have 44 new movies, and the reason why they have so many is because of COVID, and that backed up the slate of productions. So a lot of
44 new original films?
New films, and with big-named actors.
Wow.
Big-name actors.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
it's going to be a hell of a fall, let me tell you.
And also, Mike, I'm curious, of all the shows, Carrie and I have been watching a lot of shows. We tried the Joseph Gordon-Levitt show, Mr. Corman, I think it's called, left us a little flat. We watched a show, I think it's an older show about a rapper named Dave.
Oh, I love Dave. You know what, Dave?
It just didn't ring with us. What was your take on Ted Lasso? Ted Lasso is my favorite thing that's happened in so long.
I think it might be my own prejudice when it comes to this game. All right.
Okay, I can dig that.
Just the whole soccer thing leaves me cold.
That's the most
although I've sat down, I've watched
in the world.
Thank you. I'm
and
sorry.
It's a minuscule part, and it's a minuscule part of the show.
It's a minuscule part of the show. I don't know.
I wish you would. Did you stay with it for the whole season, or did you bail?
I can't stay with it. That's the problem. It's just like when I'm reading a book. I got a book. I tore through the James Patterson, Bill Clinton book. Absolutely devoured it. 600 pages like this, like that.
Yeah.
There's another book by Kristen Hanna that's sitting over there about the Dust Bowl that I am slogging through. You know how it works. It's the same thing with TV.
You're right.
Where you'll go back and you'll watch something and you'll look at it and you'll decide whether you're into it. And,
I wish you would give Ted Lasso a second chance.
I will.
Because it is
I don't
really,
discount
really
it as
fun.
being a funny
Especially
show.
the first season.
I need to immerse myself in it. I need to immerse
Effing Roy
myself
Kent,
in it.
man.
And, really, can I be honest with you? I talked to a bunch of guys today. This is for guys that love it.
Men.
Women like football, too.
Men.
I think everybody's just waiting for that NFL to start.
Oh, yeah.
The real NFL start. Even if your team sucks, you can root for them
watching
and
Hard
watch
Knocks,
them
you're
be a
like,
disaster.
when are they going to play?
Yeah, I talked to Nicky Diamond. He sounds so sad lately. He can't wait for it to come back.
I can't wait.
Oh, my God. Is Nicky going to be joining us again
if
this
we
season?
If we can settle on terms,
Yeah, you know how the terms are.
You know what the terms are for Nicky. If you, Rob, I'm going to tell you, I know you're negotiating with him, and can I be very honest with you?
Please.
Okay? Because you're a nice person.
I am.
Right?
I am.
But you've never been the negotiator. And none of us are really.
Yeah.
But you've got to be firm with Nikki. I just don't know if I can handle another season opener with his prognostications where he's bitching about the fact that he's not getting proper compensation.
Well, Oscar gave me a few pointers going into negotiations this year, and one is that this year he has to sign in ink.
Yes.
Pencil not allowed, and also no more side sponsors. He's bringing in the diner. He's
all right, you know what
I'm
going to do? I'm going to make your life easier.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
When you talk to Nikki,
yes.
All right, and I don't want the old ones, all right? If he is able to go out and find not 5, not 4, 2.
2 title sponsors.
I will allow him two people to plug. He will get 2 sponsors. If there's somebody he wants to plug, I don't know, get a free burger once in a while,
right?
Or bowling or whatever. I know. I think one was the wasn't there a pawn shop that?
Yes, there was. There was the Pahrump Pawn Shop. I forget the exact name of it, but it's right there on Main Street.
But he's well. He's doing okay.
Well, the pandemic's been brutal. Most of his small business grifts, they've gone out of business.
And his roommate kicked him out.
Yeah.
Remember, he was caring for that guy.
I'm looking forward to it. Oscar, are you watching the Hard Knocks?
I'm watching. I am watching.
Okay.
I love how Jerry Jones.
Hi.
You never see him in Gen Pop. Like Gen Population, he's always on like a lift.
I thought Gen Pop was like a Korean boy band.
Like when he's and probably,
it's a prison term, really.
It's probably for health reasons. But even though everybody's tested, you'll never see Jerry with a big group of guys like he used to in the past. It's always him and his son.
Is there anything? And you watched the most recent one? Did you watch it?
Yes.
Is there anything anywhere in the NFL comparable to that facility that they built for the Cowboys?
No.
It is truly something to behold. Do you
First
know,
class.
Mr. Technical, how they did that shot? Would that have been a drone?
With a little
that
drone.
Did that shot?
With a little drone.
Wow. Just a tiny drone
with a camera.
With a high-def camera. Yes. And it's one of...
And it had, Mike, a little... You can't see it because it's on the drone, but it had a little tiny Tom Landry hat.
Just flying around.
Now, he's talking about what looked like a CGI fly-through.
It's one of the most amazing, and I'm going to go further than in a film, in a documentary. Yeah. It is one of the most amazing shots. You'll like this, Oscar. Carla's walking through. I rewind it, right?
Cool.
And you know when people just aren't into what you're into? I said, honey,
I live it.
This is the Cowboys facility in Frisco, Texas. Look, I know you're not into football, but you have to look at this. And so you see this drone shot that starts on the outside of the facility for the Cowboys in Frisco, Texas, and it does this slow descent into the facility, and it goes in one window of a pickup truck and out the other, and you hear the radio talking about the Cowboys. Goes over the yoga, goes down the hallway into an arena where they're setting up stuff, through the weight room, up into the offices, down into the bowl, and Carla lasted through the window of the pickup truck. Just very nice. And you know when she was done, just signaling me that she was done with it and didn't care about it. But it's that's pretty good TV.
Do you know what the backstory of that shot is? Actually, it landed in the playbook, and it was Bill Belichick who was flying the drone.
All right, thank you.
He doesn't care.
You don't care either.
He doesn't care.
No, I would love it. I did actually have a technical question. Do you remember about 9 months, a year ago, there was a trending video that was similar to what he describes, but it was in a bowling alley?
Yes.
Is it the same technology they use there?
So fun story. I
care.
Here at the facilities, at the headquarters in Washington, D.C. of Podville Media, we inquired to have a similar video filmed.
Yeah.
But because we're in the red zone of no fly zone, even indoors, that specific drone can't be flown. It's
really
wild.
Oh my God! What's wrong with people? Well, it's fun.
That's all. Just trying to have a good time, folks.
Yeah, and one of these days we'll have a tour up there. And as far as during the tour of where I do my show, that'll never happen. So I just thought I'd pass that along. All right,
people will pay.
This is my home.
That's for your OnlyFans.
That's for my OnlyFans when I take my shirt off. I'll do it in my boxers. I'll walk through with my shirt off and my boxers. And this, you've heard me talk about the clear rear. Here it is.
Not for your use, but feel free to take a look.
Thank you. We'll be right back with the thing.
Hit me.
The TMOS bonus show has what listeners crave.
It's got electrolytes.
If you like TMOS, join Mike, Rob, and Oscar for the TMOS bonus show every week.
Why don't we just try it and not worry about what plants crave?
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
Buy it for yourself or give it to a friend and help the show grow.
Like out the toilet?
I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
The time is now to subscribe to the TMOS bonus show.
Do it. Do it now!
Click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
It's got electrolytes.
Wow. That's some audio editing there, kids.
You mean like out the toilet?
Wow, pretty good stuff. Hey, I have to tell you something. We love our association with this company called Coinbase.
Yes.
You're going to love them, too. Cryptocurrency might feel like a super secret or exclusive club, but listen to this. Coinbase believes that everyone everywhere should be able to get in the door. Whether you've been trading for years or you're just getting started, Coinbase can help you if you want to get into crypto. If you identify as crypto curious, Coinbase makes learning to buy and sell simple. Coinbase offers a trusted and easy-to-use platform to buy, sell, and spend cryptocurrency. Plus, they support the most popular digital currencies on the market and make them accessible to everyone. They offer portfolio management and protection, learning resources, and a mobile app so you can trade securely and monitor your crypto all in one place. Millions of people in over 100 countries trust Coinbase with their digital assets. Whether you're looking to diversify or just getting started, visit the website and check it out. It's a great time to get started. Here's what I want you to do. For a limited time, new users can get $5 in free Bitcoin when you sign up today at Coinbase.com/TMOS. That's Coinbase.com/TMOS for $5 in free Bitcoin. This offer is for a limited time only, so be sure to sign up today. That's Coinbase.com/TMOS. And thank you, Coinbase, for sponsoring our show. Now it's time to open up that heavy metal lid, and now it's going to flip down on the back, and we'll look down inside.
Hey, hi. This is Bob. Go for the Gold Hope. Thanks for the memories.
That's an old one right there.
That's 1984.
I'll take that.
That's
Bob, go for the Gold Hope. Here we go, baby.
That was from a PSA where he was encouraging the people of Los Angeles to be polite. When
Be
people
polite to each other.
For 84?
The 84 Olympics, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the 30th goddamn autograph I've had to sign outside of
NBC Studios.
Yeah, I started charging $5 a signature.
There you go. Yeah, take it home, baby.
Today, Mike, maybe the reason that lady was on the news, today is National Dog Day.
Who let the dogs out? You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I'm just a walking my dog.
I'll show you how to walk the dog. Hey, bulldog.
I love my dog.
Thanks.
So you are a dog owner.
Did
Oscar's
you do a dog
owner.
mix? Is that your creation?
Little dog mix, sure, a little
Very
thing happening,
nice.
yeah.
Well done.
thank
That was
you.
fun to listen to.
We love our dogs, and
We have a dog here.
Yeah, and we have the pod dog here at Podville Media. And
Santos.
So
Yeah.
so salute to all the dogs out there. I do say this to Carrie. I don't know how we went as long as we did without having a dog. Dogs are great.
And if you all are rescuing dogs, God bless you.
yeah, you know, my
Let me
buddy
tell
Brad
you.
just rescued a dog. As a matter of
I
fact.
don't know how I went as long as I did without having a dog I loved. I do. I love Winslow so much. I love him.
I can tell.
So you had that
You
standard.
never
You
yell-
loved that
you
standard
never yell
poodle
at him.
growing up.
You never yell at him.
Yeah.
No, I yell at him occasionally, and he's bad. He behaves badly.
What's
He's got
the
a little,
worst thing he does?
The worst thing he does is pee in our bedroom.
Oh, no.
That's not cool.
That's learned behavior.
Well, I'm sorry. I had too many Irish whiskeys. Hey, your Uncle Mike is around the
Come
town.
on, Winslow. Everybody's doing it.
All right. Have you ever heard? I'm trying to think of an example. I know Neil Sedaka did it, and I know that the song "Runaway" by Del Shannon.
Peed in his bedroom?
No. What happens is
okay.
they take an older song that they've done and
Yeah.
re-record it, usually slower. Okay.
Okay. Let me see if I can get the Neil Sedaka one. It's I forgot.
I beg of you. That's your hint right there. Da 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 da. Na 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 na.
Give me the title.
Da, da, da. I'm having to work my way through it. But I feel blue because breaking up is hard to
Breaking
do.
up is don't take your love away from me.
The late Neil
Right?
Sedaka. You know what? Maybe he might show up in the dumpster someday.
Very good. Very
Okay.
interesting.
But
Thank
here's
you.
a reworked song from 1982. I guess that's 39 years ago. See how long it takes you to spot it.
We can dance.
Safety Dance.
It is the Safety
Yes.
Dance, but this is Men Without Hats. They actually re-recorded it as a song called No Friends of Mine.
They're doing it from pole to pole. We can dance.
I don't know. I say give me the original.
This is so much better.
Do you know, when I was driving Robert...
Still good after all these years, too.
When I was driving Robert up to West Virginia to drop him off for school, we were listening to the 80s channel on Sirius.
Yes.
This came on. He looked at me. He said, Dad, there's no way this is a song. I said, you're listening to it. It's a song.
He didn't like this?
He said, it's so stupid.
Safety Dance. It's when they all sang like this. Spandau Ballet. Safety Dance. How.
Mike, hot llama news from the Seth Meyers Show. Right here. Hot llama news.
According to a new study, antibodies from llamas may prevent infections from coronavirus. And of course, now you can't find any llamas at Costco.
That's
So
funny.
true.
I
All right.
like that.
We don't get a lot of news from New Zealand, but I do like when they screw up down there. What this guy, he was trying to think about, when you have the COVID, it's smart to spread out. And if you're walking, you want to stretch your legs, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, he got the words mixed up.
Look, it is a challenge in higher density areas for people to get outside and to spread their legs when they're surrounded by other people. I shall go and stretch my legs. I'm sure you'll all have fun with me later.
So you don't want to spread your legs.
Spread your legs. I think that's the key to the COVID problem.
Is it?
Amen. Yes, sirree. Let's do it that way, please.
Everybody spread your legs and do the safety dance.
Yeah, safety dance. Safety dance. I like safety dance. That's one of my. I don't
Great
mind that song now. I've been removed from these 80s songs that I had to play 8 times an hour.
Well, that kind of
and now
predates you a little bit.
You can celebrate them
I think
now.
it was before. But what were you in 1980?
Was Safety Dance before me?
Yeah, that was 1982, yeah.
It did. It did. I was doing Rupert Holmes.
Yeah.
I was an adult contemporary guy, and then I was a country guy too with Alabama.
But Mike,
I was in Bolivia.
Where were you in 1984?
Hi, this is Bob. Go for the gold hope. Thanks for the memories.
Hey, Bob. 84, I was spinning records at a club and starting my own, or in the middle of my own radio production company.
See, you were
Chesapeake Recordings.
You were an entrepreneur before most people were ever in business.
Well, no, I love doing that. It was fun. But man, the technology today where you can get on a computer and send something. I had to put stuff on cassette, get in my car, drive out to Laurel Racetrack to see whatever that guy, that big, larger than life owner, that guy, and he'd critique it. I'd change it. I had to do it once, 3 times.
And he wouldn't let you play it over the phone, right? You had to be in person. Oh, the worst.
Because it was a big client.
Yeah.
And I had to drive out there. And I had a lot of clients like that. It was fun.
He'd
And I sneezed.
He'd go out, he'd make $25 for the spot and lose $60 on an Exacta. It was horrible.
There you go. Yeah.
Mike, there's a reason I played the Jackie Mason promo today, because I stand by the fact that Gene Simmons might be slowly turning into Jackie Mason.
Absolutely. That's a good call. Listen to the patter.
So
it's
listen,
absolutely true.
Gene Simmons, he claims he was misquoted when he was.
May I, before you play
Yes,
it, because
please.
I haven't heard it?
Yeah.
So Jackie Mason talks like this, like that. Gene Simmons really talks more like back this way. When you hear him now, as he's gotten older, he's a little bit more.
I don't even need to play the tape now.
Really? Let me see if it's close.
Okay, so here's Gene Simmons apologizing to what he said he was misquoted about David Lee Roth.
I am so sorry and ashamed, actually, that I hurt David's feelings. I read that quote, and somehow the way they put it together, I think I said something like, nobody touched David in his prime. Not Robert Plant, not Jagger, anybody. He was the king. And then somehow there was a segue to, Elvis bloated on the ground and, fat and naked, and I don't want to see that. I wasn't talking about David, but that doesn't matter. What matters is I hurt David's feelings, and that's more important than the intent. So I sincerely apologize for that. I didn't mean to hurt his feelings.
I am the front man of one of the most popular rock bands.
Okay, but he's contrite.
Yes,
Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
So
it's not the ballsy Gene Simmons.
No, the one would be the original used to play on the Don and Mike show. The forces of gravity.
Oh, that's
caused
the
my
most
pants to fall
disgusting
to the
tape.
floor.
And we played tapes of actual people vomiting, and that's
Yeah.
still the most disgusting tape we ever played.
Absolutely. Yes. So I'm sorry to David if I've hurt his feelings in any particular way.
Did you want to buy something from the Kiss store? We have everything.
I can get you a special discount on a Kiss casket.
Hey, Gene, are you familiar with Paul Blair Christine?
Blair is a very big fan and a very, very good guy and knows his way around many fine eateries in New Jersey and New York.
You should sell him one of those Kiss above-ground pools.
That's too funny.
All right. Okay, so today we'll close with this. It is National Dog Day, but it's also National Toilet Paper Day.
Ooh.
Exciting.
Yeah, and so because of that, we must close with this.
Excuse me, this is kind of embarrassing, but there's no toilet paper over here. If you could spare some. No, I'm sorry. What? No, I'm sorry, I can't spare it. 3 squares will do it. I'm sorry, I don't have 3 squares now, if you don't mind. 3 squares? You can't spare 3 squares? No, I don't have a square to spare. I can't spare a square.
Which reminds me, I don't have time for the joke. I'll just give you the punchline. Well, in that case, do you have 2 5s for a 10? That's the Digital Dumpster. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
I don't even get it.
I'll tell you after.
It just sounded funny. It just sounded funny.
Hi, Blair.
I don't know what it was. Blair, thank you. Thank you so much for your incredible support of KISS. We appreciate you coming to so many of our concerts. I know that I speak for Paul Stanley and myself when I say you are our #1 fan. That's it. We got to get out of here. We'll have a wonderful bonus show coming up tomorrow.
Can't
if you've
wait.
not subscribed to the TMOS bonus show, do it. And please, on behalf of everybody at the Mike O'Mara Show, take a moment of pause anytime today to pray for our troops over in harm's way as they were today, and the families of those service members we lost. An American tragedy. We'll take a break and see you tomorrow. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
We don't want you to lose weight. We just want you to be healthy. Okay. You know, by eating less. Go home and step on a scale and write down how much you weigh and subtract it by like 20. And then weigh that much.
How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that.